Blackbird once set the record for flying from New York to London in 1 hour and 54 minutes. In effect, by the...
What? In 1 hour? Oh, that's crazy. And I thought I drove fast. What's up, my friend? Today I'll be reacting to SR-71 Blackbird, world fastest plane ever built. This should be a fascinating one. But before I go into that, can I ask you for one thing? If you can leave a like, thank you so much, my friend. It's the best way to show support. If you can subscribe, well, in that case, forget about it. You make my day. I have that in consideration. Now, link for the original video in my description. You guys end up recommending this one quite a lot, so let's play it. Oh boy.
SR-71 Blackbird, America's old super spy plane, is still the world's fastest jet.
That looks scary.
The sleek and sinister SR-71 Blackbird looks like it belongs in a science fiction movie. Though in fact the jet black spy plane proved...
Yeah, that's scary. I'm sorry, what was that? Sorry.
...belongs in a science fiction movie. Though in fact the...
I know it's real. I know every time I see this type of stuff, looks like an alien to me. But it looks like an alien to me. Look at that. That's alien technology. You cannot convince me otherwise. What is that? Also beautiful, if I'm gonna be honest.
Jet black spy plane proved far more successful at outrunning enemy missiles than any of the spaceships depicted in Star Wars. Though retired in the 1990s in favor of spy satellites and recon drones, it doesn't look like any modern designs are likely to challenge the Blackbird's record as the fastest manned aircraft ever.
Wait, so this retired long time ago and is still the fastest plane ever built? No chance! Beast of a plane! Oh, I love this one. I really do. Okay.
Stealthy speedster. As Cold War tensions heighten...
Okay, wait a second. My favorite plane is the A-10 Warthog. You guys already know, probably. Can this become my favorite plane? I like a lot the history on this one. And looks kind of sick, I have to admit. Looks very, you know, Star Wars, like the guy was saying.
Stealthy speedster. As Cold War tensions heightened during the 1950s, the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, began flying the U-2 spy plane to keep tabs on the Soviet Union's fast-expanding nuclear weapons capabilities.
Okay.
Ungainly and relatively slow-moving, the U-2 relied upon its ability to fly at extremely high altitudes to avoid enemy fighters and early surface-to-air missiles. The intelligence provided by U-2s in 1962 uncovered the Soviet nuclear missiles deployed to Cuba, leading to the dramatic events of the Cuban Missile Crisis. But the U-2s also provoked diplomatic incidents because they simply couldn't fly high enough to avoid Russian SA-2 surface-to-air missiles. A U-2 was shot down in 1960, and its pilot Gary Powers captured, triggering an embarrassing diplomatic row. Another U-2 was shot down during the Cuban Missile Crisis, killing the pilot and escalating tensions between Moscow and Washington.
Okay, this U-2 out. We need something better, and I have a feeling I know what's coming.
At a critical moment, 5 Taiwanese U-2s were shot down over China. American engineers realized altitude was no longer an adequate defense, and in 1957 began working on a plane for the CIA that they hoped Soviet radar would be unable to detect, and that could outrun any missiles fired at it.
That's so crazy, that can outrun missiles. Oh boy. Probably nowadays that's common technology, I would assume. Or not, because missiles maybe are a bit faster also. Actually, I don't know.
Lockheed Skunk Works factory ultimately developed the A-12, codenamed Archangel. The prototype was first tested in Area 51 in 1962.
Wait, Area 51? Is that... I believe I saw some crazy theories about aliens and Area 51. That's a famous area because of that. Correct me if I'm wrong, my friends, but I have that idea at least. Sorry, this is unrelated. Wait, what if they saw that plane and they thought it was an alien and that's where all the theories... I don't know.
The prototype was first tested in Area 51 in 1962, and in the end, 15 A-12s were produced. CIA Lockheed A-12s flew a total of 29 spy missions over North Korea and Vietnam through 1968 in Operation Black Shield, losing 6 aircraft to accidents. Intelligence gathered by A-12 helped the CIA to map out North Vietnamese...
Okay, sorry. Sorry.
Intelligence gathered...
This is kind of sexy. Can we agree? That looks so nice. Oh boy, that's a beast.
...by A-12 helped the CIA to map out North Vietnamese air defenses and locate the USS Pueblo after it was hijacked by North Korea. The Air Force developed prototypes of an interceptor version, the YF-12, and later considered a high-speed bomber, the B-71, coming numerically after the XB-7.
By the way, I cannot look that plane in the eyes. I already reacted to that plane, I forget the name, but I have to turn my face. That stuff is scary, sorry.
The Valkyrie bomber that never entered
the
production.
Valkyrie.
There was even a bizarre M21 drone carrier that launched a D-21 spy drone off its back. However, none of these spin-offs entered service, and the A-12 was retired in favor of an Air Force-operated variant, the SR-71. The Blackbird could sustain speeds above Mach 3, with a so far unbroken manned flight record of Mach 3.3 or 3.5. 3.3 is confirmed.
Speaking Japanese to me, my friend. What is that speed? What?
While Mach 3.5 is claimed by pilot Brian Scholl to have been achieved while outrunning a missile over Libya in 1986.
Whoa.
That speed is actually even more impressive than it seems, because while later Soviet MiG-25 and MiG-31 fighters could attain Mach 3, they could only do so for brief periods on afterburners, the aerial equivalent of an energy-burning sprint. The SR-71 could sustain Mach 3 flight for 90 minutes, at which points it required in-flight refueling. A Blackbird once set the record for flying from New York to London in 1 hour and 54 minutes. In effect, by the...
What? In 1 hour? No, I have to run that back. Did I understand that correct?
At which points it required in-flight refueling. A Blackbird once set the record for flying from New York to London in 1 hour and 54 minutes.
Oh, that's crazy. And I thought I drove fast. Oh, that's insane. Wow. Okay.
In effect, by the time it took a SAM missile system to lock onto an SR-71 traveling at Mach 3 and launch a missile, the Blackbird was already moving beyond the effective range of the missile. But Lockheed wasn't just counting on speed to evade enemy missiles. The Blackbird was the first operational airplane intentionally designed with a reduced radar cross-section to minimize the chance of detection. The Blackbird's chines, the knife-like tapered edges of the fuselage, were even...
Dude, I love this plane. Am I crazy? I still like the A-10 Artog a bit more because of the shark face and the machine gun. That said, this is amazing. Do you guys like this plane? People that follow the military quite close. See, it's so cool. The design is so amazing. André, you should not rate a plane because of a design. Well, guess what, my friend? I do it. I don't understand anything about planes, so the design is a big one for me. This looks amazing. And the fact that it's the world's fastest plane ever, that's insane. Oh, I really love this one.
Even coated with early radar...
Leave a like if you also love this plane. Or if you love any other plane. So you have to leave a like.
absorbent iron ferrite paint to help lower radar detection ranges. The chines were also found to provide additional lift and greater aerodynamic stability.
Okay.
However, the Blackbird wasn't a stealth plane by modern standards. It had a cross-section of 10 square meters, which Soviet radar technology soon proved capable of detecting anyway. Adding to the problem was the enormous heat exhaust plumes the SR-71's engines generated, which disrupted the air particles behind it in a manner visible to radar. Fortunately, the Blackbird also mounted a radar jammer and other electronic countermeasures for confusing enemy missiles. To cap it all off, it was capable of sustained flight at 85,000 feet, another unbroken record, and employed an astro-inertial navigation system that used the stars overhead to calculate the plane's position.
So, when we say that technology always evolves, that's not entirely true, right? Because this plane, in a lot of things, is still one of the best ever. Am I off on this? I hope not. But this is amazing.
An impressive record.
Another one?
The first operational SR-71 unit was activated in 1960.
So, those are all 71 Blackbirds, but they have a bit of a different design, or is just the angle? This seems a bit more large, but maybe it's just the angle of the photo.
68, based at Kadena Air Base in Okinawa, Japan. The locals nicknamed the recon birds Habu, pit vipers.
Sorry, I have to pause it. Come on, that's an amazing plane. You know what? That's great. Oh man, I love this photo. Sorry, I know this is unrelated, but if you fly that, oh man, your ego should be. I wonder, probably not, right, my friends? But sometimes I have people watching my videos that end up being pilots in the past, or are even pilots today. I wonder if someone ever tested this plane. Oh, I would love to have someone watching that could give us some feedback. Oh, this is a crazy one.
The locals nicknamed the
Sorry, my friends, I get a bit too excited reacting to this type of stuff because this is so new to me and come on, look at that.
Recon birds Habu, pit vipers, a nickname which stuck among Blackbird pilots.
Okay.
They went on to fly numerous reconnaissance missions over Vietnam, and while the plane performed well, it seems those who would want to take the plane down as the ultimate trophy were catching up. American pilots soon discovered that the Blackbird's reduced radar cross-section wasn't an effective defense by itself. Russian-made radars were powerful enough to track the Habu and launch missiles. However, they learned the SR-71 speed did not work as a defense. Around 800 missiles were fired at Blackbirds over Vietnam alone, but not a single one was lost to enemy fire, although one CIA A-12 did take a piece of shrapnel from an SA-2 missile that exploded 100 meters away. Blackbirds went on to fly over 3,551 reconnaissance missions over the next 30 years, flying over the Middle East, North Africa, Europe, and Asia. 11 SR-71s were lost in accidents, though all but one pilot survived. Not one was lost to hostile fire.
That's impressive.
Colonel James Shelton Jr. recounted how his plane flew an epic 11.5-hour mission to photograph Israeli army positions near the end of the Yom Kippur War.
Okay.
Along the way, he overflew it.
So every time I react to American stuff, most of the planes I react to be fair, I react to the best of the best. But a lot of times it's like this plane won 100 times, lost one time, or is unbeatable. This plane never got destroyed, stuff like that. And I wonder, for sure, America have great technology, no doubt about that. We are aware of that, and that's one of the most important things. But I also feel that the pilots are amazing, because, you know, you can have the best car in the world, if you don't know how to drive well, that car will not perform. And I feel like the same logic would apply even with... So maybe to become a pilot of those type of planes, you have to have some type of big IQ or something. You guys may be laughing. No, André, that's not necessary. But maybe it is, honestly. This seems very difficult. I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments.
Egyptian airspace and was tracked by multiple radar sites and interceptors, but none of them could keep up. The photos he took later established that Israeli troops were further in Egyptian territory than they had admitted, leading the U.S. to successfully pressure Israel into withdrawing its forces. Blackbirds also flew recon missions off the Russian coast, though not over Russia itself, evading all of the Mach 3 MiG-25 fighters sent after them. Soviet defector Viktor Belenko wrote in his biography, MiG Pilot, They taunted and toyed with the MiG-25 sent up to intercept them, scooting up to altitudes the Soviet planes could not reach, and circling leisurely above them or dashing off at speeds the Russians could not match. Yet the Blackbird had shortcomings. It was expensive to operate, costing more than $100,000 per hour flown according to one estimate. Furthermore, an SR...
What?
Yet the Blackbird had shortcomings. It was expensive to operate, costing more than $100,000 per hour flown according to one estimate. Furthermore, an SR-71 required an average of a week of maintenance between each mission because the high-speed flights often cause bits and pieces of the airplane to loosen or come off.
Oh, wow.
More importantly, spy satellites and drones could handle the strategic missions that the SR-71 was supposed to perform. And the Blackbird, which relied on 1960s technology, had no data link to transmit its intelligence data back to base, so it was not considered ideal for providing data in a time-sensitive manner. The SR-71 was first retired in 1989, before 3 airframes were brought back into service in 1994. However, the operating costs of the small fleet were extremely high. Despite attempts by politicians like Senator John Glenn to save the program, the Air Force wanted to redirect funding to other projects. The SR-71 was finally withdrawn from service in 1998. NASA's 2 Blackbirds were retired the following year. For years, there were rumors of an even faster spy plane, the Aurora, but its existence seems unlikely at this point.
Okay, what? Sorry. Okay, no, this is an alien. Is this a real plane, actually? No chance. No chance. Okay, but it's kind of crazy, so it ended up getting retired in 88, if I understood correct, and he's still the world's fastest plane? But that's what, 30 years, actually 34, 35 years later, right? Oh no, that's insane. That's really insane if you think about it.
Plane, the Aurora, but its existence seems unlikely at this point. Rather, the Pentagon relies on drones and satellites if it needs to cast an eye on a well-defended location.
That looks like a whale, for some reason. Sorry, I have to say it.
Why risk lives and diplomatic incidents using manned aircraft? The still classified RQ-180 Global Hawk stealth drone currently in development is believed to be the effective successor of the Blackbird.
Oh.
What about gathering intel over places where there is no threat from surface-to-air missiles? Then the Air Force can call upon the venerable 1950s-era U-2, which in heavily upgraded form is now flying photo reconnaissance missions over Iraq, having outlasted its successor by 2 decades and counting.
So do you guys think the future of planes is basically drones? You know what I mean? That's kind of sad in one end. I mean, it's good for humanity. I guess the pilots don't have to take their lives. You know, they don't have to risk their lives. But there is something beautiful about pilots doing crazy stuff with the planes. You guys probably disagree, but I don't know. And you know that I can see why some people may not like it.
Nonetheless, it looks like the Blackbird will remain the queen of speed for some time to come.
Okay, tremendous. I love this plane. Great video. This channel always does amazing stuff. I love to react to military things, and as long as you guys keep supporting me, the best way is what? Leaving a like. That's it, my friend. If you leave a like, if you subscribe, the videos get more views, the channel grows, and that's the only thing I want from you. That said, I mean, what can I say about this plane? Come on, let's be real. It's a crazy one. It is what it is. And that's it for today, my friends. Hope you end up enjoying this video. If that's the case, do not forget to leave a like. Also consider to subscribe if you are new to my channel. And also let me remember you about one thing. I have a Patreon community. I put videos there a bit earlier than I put on YouTube. So if you want to support me and have access to early content, go to my Patreon. I will leave a link on my description. Take a look at that. You can also scan the QR code you will be seeing here. And that's it.